Hello children, hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to study geography. Yes, lesson number 7, and that is human settlements. Children, in this year we have been doing comparative study between India and Brazil. And today in this chapter we will see what type of settlements, that means type of houses, dwellings exist in both the countries. So I hope you are ready to learn. So let's get started with the PPT. As you know, children, let us begin with what are settlements. As I told you, settlements are houses where people live together, they establish a community, a colony, whatever you can call it as, isn't it? A settlement is a form of human dwelling from the smallest house to the largest city. A small house is also called a settlement as well as a large city. In geography, settlements can vary in sizes from the very small to extremely large. They can be as small and as large as a megacity home to 10 of millions of people, isn't it? In this chapter, we will see what type of settlements exist in both the countries. There are two types of settlements, children. Firstly, nucleated. Now, what are nucleated settlements? Nucleated settlements are concentrated ones. The settlements that are closely associated together. That means they are dense. They are clustered closely. Isn't it? Even we in the cities are closely associated with one another, isn't it? We have a flat system, we have bungalow system, whatever, but close by. And second type is dispersed settlements. What are they? They are sparse, far from each other. In some of the villages, you find such dispersed settlements, isn't it? Quite far away from each other. Even some of the areas which are mountainous in nature. The settlements that we see in India, and then we will move on to Brazil. This picture shows you a nucleated settlement. Picture from India. As I told you, nucleated settlements are ones which are grouped closely together, often around a central feature like a church, a pub, or a village. New settlements that are planned often have a nucleated pattern. Yes, suppose we are going for new buildings. We will see that they are quite together. Many buildings are constructed together. In India, we find most of the places are having this type of settlement, that is the nucleated pattern. Where do we find them particularly? It is in the plateau region of the Narmada Valley. Nearby the rivers, you will often see thick population and thick settlements over there. Paddy land in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Vindhya Plateau, and several other cultivated parts of India. So you will see this in most of the areas in India. Now, where are the dispersed settlements? Here the picture shows you the dispersed settlements, far away. The houses are far away from each other. Such settlements are found in tribal parts covering central part of India. Wherever you find tribal people or wherever you find mountainous areas which are inaccessible, you will find such settlements. Even in the eastern and southern Rajasthan, as it is a desert area, Himalayan slopes, a mountainous area as I told you, and land with dissected and uneven topography. Any such area where the topography, that means the structure of land, is not fit for living together or properly. Now, as we have seen that in India we find nucleated as well as dispersed settlements, isn't it? Let us see what amenities, that means what are the facilities that are available in the villages, that means the rural areas, as well as in the cities, that is the urban areas. As you can see the screen, you will see the similar table in your textbook. For example, a petrol pump, Generally, it is not there in the village, but you will see it in the cities. Then a theater, weekly market, primary health center, a police station, all these you will see in both the areas, the villages as well as the cities. Maybe a art gallery will not be found in the village. Similarly, a gram panchayat is not in the city. Gram panchayat, the word gram is a village. So those are found in the villages itself. So not possible in a city, isn't it? Cities, we have municipalities, we have Jilla Parishad and various state government bodies. Agricultural produce market committee, you will see in both the areas, the villages as well as the cities. Primary school, senior or secondary school, shops, even universities. Universities you will find in cities, whereas you will not find any university in a village, isn't it? This table you will see in your textbook. Metro stations, bus stations, as I told you, universities, multi-speciality hospitals, all these you will not find in the villages. Of course, yes, a bus station is a simple thing that you will see in the village. But rather than other things, as I told you, is rare to find in a village. But in a city, you will find all these facilities. Now, moving on to the next country, that is Brazil. Children, before we learn about the types of settlements in Brazil, I want to draw your attention to some of the facts which are not given in the textbook. With its 200 million inhabitants, 200 million inhabitants means the people who are living in Brazil, according to the census which was done in 2013. Brazil has the largest population in Latin America and ranks 5th in the world after China, India, United States, and Indonesia. Though proud of its status as a melting point in which different cultures and races exist side by side. Look at the picture, children. You will see that in Brazil, you find different types of culture. Many different types of people have come, settled here, and are happily living in this particular country or area. As its geography, population size, and ethnic diversity would imply, Brazil's culture, profile, and achievements are extensive, vibrant, and constantly changing. Many people have come here, they are living here, and the culture is also mixed culture. Together, you will find here different types of people from different areas here. Just like India, even they have the tribal people. As I told you, mixed culture. 6 major groups make up Brazilian population. The Portuguese, who colonized Brazil in the 16th century. Of course, they are the main people over here. Even Africans were brought to Brazil as slaves. Various other European, Middle Eastern, and Japanese, and other Asian immigrants or groups who have settled in Brazil since the mid-19th century. So it's a blend of many cultures. Indigenous, that means native people of Tupi and Guarani, they are also seen over here. Now the Tupi and Guarani live in several groups and have more than 30 closely related languages. So you can understand that so many different types of people live here. They have different languages. They are widely dispersed in the tropical and subtropical lowlands, and even intermarriage between the Portuguese and these native people or slaves are common. So a mixed culture again, as I told. Although the major European ethnic stock of Brazil was originally Portuguese, subsequent waves of immigration contributed to a diverse ethnic and cultural heritage. You will find various different Asians, Africans, and many people in Brazil. Now let us move on to the main focus, that is the settlements. Now if you see the country, you will see that the southern and the eastern part of Brazil has a good transport system, and so you will see nucleated settlements. As I told you, nucleated close by. So in India, we saw in the beginning slides which are the areas which have nucleated settlements. Similarly, you should remember, and more details you will find in the textbook too. So it's necessary that you read the textbook carefully. But what about the central part of the country? As you can see, the central part of the country has dispersed settlements. Now, there are some reasons. As you can see, the Amazon jungle, the thick forest region over here, the main reason. Climate is unhealthy, it is unfit for settlements. So, naturally, there are very less houses over here, not nucleated, but rather dispersed settlements. Very rarely you will find any settlement over here. Poor transportation. So these are the reasons why the central part of Brazil have less number of settlements or dispersed settlements. This is just something extra we should know. Children, as I showed you the picture of the Amazon forest, isn't it? You should know, rather you should note down this in your textbooks, that the Amazon jungle contains nearly 90% of the world's animals. Though this is not related to the chapter, you should know this because this is one of the most important thing that we should remember. And last time we had talked about the forest region and the animals too. Now the main city of Brazil, that is Sao Paulo. This city is highly nucleated, and as you can see that closely associated houses are seen over here. Similarly, the Brazilian highlands, Amazon basin rivers, also you will see nucleated settlements. Here's a picture of the city of Sao Paulo, a very densely situated area. You will see just like New York, just like the other New Delhi and other popular, or what can you say, crowded cities. This is also one of the most crowded city in Brazil, and which has nucleated settlements. The picture shows you the same. We saw in the previous slide that the rainforest in the Amazon river basin, let's just sum up again. The rainforests are again having sparse settlements. The settlements are sparse because it's the central part of the country. The river Amazon flows there, and the area is covered by the rainforest, and that is the reason why the area is not having thick population or thick growth of settlements. Covered by thick, dense equatorial rainforest, unhealthy climate, as we saw, poor transport links, limitations on use and exploitations of natural resources. So you should remember that the central part of Brazil, which is occupied by the rainforest, has dispersed settlements. Let us move on to the chart that is given in the textbook. I hope your textbooks are there in front of you. So this graph is showing us the trend of urbanization in India. In our country also, children, you know that now it's a time when we have maximum population living in the cities, urban areas, isn't it? But let us take a view from 1960. Okay, let us see how the population in the cities, that means urbanization, how it has developed and grown from 1960 after our independence. So in 1960, you see that the urban population was only 18%. Maximum people were living in the rural areas, the villages. But then later, subsequently, we saw that people started migrating. Many people in the villages, they thought, oh, let us move on to the city. You will get better job opportunities in the city, good jobs, I will earn better, I can look after my family in a more better manner. So many people started migrating to the cities. And this graph shows you exactly the same. In 1970, you see there is a slight rise, 18.2, From 18, it has risen to 18.2. But later, again in the further 10 years, you see it is 23.3. So that shows that many people from the villages have moved to the cities and have settled over there. They have started living over there, earning over there. And that is why the percentage is growing day by day. We will see it till 2010. Then in 1990, you see again the percentage has grown 25.7%. Again, it shows a rise 27.8% in 2000. And in 2010, it shows 31.02. So ultimately, we come to know that the number of people who are living in India in the urban settlements are growing day by day. So this is one of the important points that you have to remember. I hope your textbooks are there in front of you, children, and you are jotting down the points which you see on the screen. They are very important. And even the extra information that I have given you through this lecture. Brazil is one of the few developing countries we know. This substantial urban growth process is unique. Sao Paulo is emerging as a major metropolitan and industrial area. Now, just like we saw in India, let us see how the percentage of urban population of Brazil, again, exactly like India, has gone up. But here you will see quite different figures. In India, we saw it rather started from a very small figure as 18%. But here, in 1960 in India, the urban population was only 18%. And it slowly went on till 31%. But here, in Brazil, it was in 1960, it was already 47.1. Then it moved on to 56.8 in 1970. And as you can see the figures, 66% in 1980, 74% in 1990, 81.5% in 2000, and later you see that it is almost 84.6% in 2010. Just look into your textbook, that is page number 50. Similarly, if you try to verify this graph and the graph or the isopleth map that is given on page number 50, you will come to know it shows the percentage of urban population in various cities, different cities. Like Brasilia, you see the population is more, isn't it? You can just verify the index as well as the map, and you will come to know that most of the areas which are in dark pink are having thick population, thick settlements. Wherever there is thick population, the settlements are nucleated. Wherever there is sparse population, what can you see? The settlements are dispersed, isn't it? So I feel that you should go through carefully through the map that is given on page number 50, figure 7.6. So you will get a clear picture as which areas are having less population and less settlements. Similarly, high population and nucleated settlements, isn't it? For example, an area that is the state of Pi, it has a dispersed settlements because the population is also quite less. As this lesson is it deals with only a small part, that is human settlements. So I thought of sharing some more information with you all through this. As you can see the slide shows you the flag of Brazil, isn't it? Now the flag of Brazil, as you know, has many colors. The green background, on top of the green you see a kite-shaped yellow color. Again on top of it you see a blue circle with a strap that is written Ordem e Progresso. So, and then some stars. Let us know what are they, because it's not given in the textbook, children. First of all, the green color represents the lush green fields and forest. As you know, the Amazon forest, the best forest or the largest forest in the world, they are a part of Brazil. So the green color stands for that. What about the yellow color? The yellow color represents Brazil's mineral wealth. You know that wealth in gold. Gold is found in Brazil, and that is the reason that kite shaped yellow color stands for the country's mineral wealth. Now, the blue circle. The blue circle actually represents a starry sky, isn't it? And these stars on the blue color, they represent the federal regions or the states of the country. You know the different states in the country. So these are actually, every star stands for the state in the country. Isn't it? You may even count them and verify it. Now the words that are written on the white strip, Ordem e Progresso. What do they mean? It is actually their national motto. And that motto is order and progress. They believe in discipline, children. They believe in progress. And that is why we see they are a bit more progressive than us. Though both the countries are developing, but still we see a quite difference. Even in the next chapter, that is occupation and economy, we will see how they are a little further than India, or how they are a little progressive than India, though both are developing countries. So they believe in order, they believe in discipline and progress. So that is the inscription which is written. I really feel that you should take a screenshot, or you should take a picture of this slide and remember it. Moving on to our national flag of India with its meaning. Of course, you may be knowing, but let us just summarize, or let us just have a quick look as we are studying the flag of Brazil. Now, each color and symbol in the Indian flag contains a unique message, we know, that is as relevant to our professional lives as our personal lives. Children, we love our country. We really respect our national flag. We should also know the meaning that our national flag conveys, isn't it? First of all, the saffron color, the orange color, it symbolizes the mental strength which is crucial for career success. Children, it also stands for prosperity, isn't it? So, this mental strength should be in one and all, in you, in me, and in every individual of our country. And we need to be successful in our life, being devoted to our country. What about the white color? The white color represents peace and truthfulness. Yes, very important. As I always keep on focusing on truthfulness, this is one of the most important virtue in our life which we have to follow. The pursuit of peace and habit of truth telling empowers us with the clarity and honesty we need to accomplish our professional goals. You all are going to grow up and work as different professions. In different professions, you are going to have professional goals, but it is very necessary that you are truthful, because the corruption level that is going on in our country nowadays, as you know, is astounding. So you are the further citizens of India, and you are going to make a different picture by showing your truthfulness, children. And the green color, it stands for creative fertility and growth in the workplace. This particularly is all related how we can make our country more better by developing the different virtues in us. And then the Dhamma Chakra, isn't it? It has 24 spokes, as you know, connecting to a single wheel that represents a unique virtue. There you can see the list of virtues or the qualities or the attributes that one should possess. Those 24 attributes. You may read it. Love, courage, patience, peacefulness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, righteousness, as we always focus on righteousness. I remember we did it in science and spirituality also, when Dr. Kalam talks about righteousness. gracefulness, humility also we learned, isn't it? Empathy, sympathy. We learned all these things when we were studying the poem Animals in English. And then the spiritual wisdom, the moral values, all these, they represent the 24 spokes that we see in our Dharma Chakra, isn't it? So, with this, children, I would like to end my presentation. And just to summarize, we have in this lecture today, we have studied about the settlements in both the country. We have seen that settlements are of two types, that is nucleated and dispersed. We saw the areas which have nucleated settlements in India as well as in Brazil, similarly dispersed settlements in India and Brazil. And further, we also have studied and compared the two national flags along with their meaning, isn't it? The further things, children, which is necessary for you all is to go through the lesson carefully. It is necessary that you read the lesson, underline and jot down the important points, and also complete your exercises. With this, I would like to thank each and everyone who have supported me in this presentation. First of all, my society, Deccan Education Society, my principal, Mr. Eknath Burse, my friend Anand Nirgurkar and Sulbha Patil ma'am from my school who have helped me to make this presentation a beautiful one. And I also thank you, my dear children, that I hope you all have understood all the concepts in the lesson. It's a simple lesson, and I hope you will surely do well. All the best, children. Thank you. So, children, I really wish that you all have understood the lesson. Rather, it's a simple lesson, isn't it? We just learned about the settlements, what type of settlements in which area of the both the countries. So, I wish you all the best and happy learning. Keep yourself safe. Be blessed, children. Thank you.